Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're looking up, way up. We're going to be exploring the ultimate industrial mechanical beast, the overhead bridge crane. You know, when you walk into a massive steel plant, a shipyard, or a heavy engineering workshop, this is the machine that absolutely commands respect. It's this silent titan just hovering above us, handling massive, crushing industrial loads. We're talking stuff exceeding hundreds of tons, the kind of weight that human muscle couldn't even begin to budge.
Now, to give you a quick mental picture, think of an arcade claw machine, the one where you try to grab a stuffed animal. Well, scale that concept up to industrial, life or death proportions. Basically, an overhead bridge crane is a heavy-duty material handling machine that operates on elevated runway rails. It is quite literally the backbone of modern manufacturing. It's used to lift and precisely move incredibly heavy loads, both horizontally and vertically, right across those expansive factory floors.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to cover 1. The anatomy of a crane, 2. The 3 basic motions, 3. Built-in safety devices, 4. The preventive maintenance playbook, and finally 5. Essential safety precautions.
Right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the anatomy of a crane.
So we're going to dissect this machine so you get a real mental blueprint of how it all works. Notice how the bridge girder, the hoist, and the trolley work together as the core physical structure. The bridge girder, that's the massive main horizontal beam. It acts as the spine of the crane, physically carrying the load. Then you have the hoist. This is the muscle. It's responsible for actually lifting and lowering the material using wire ropes or chains. And the trolley? Well, think of that as the shoulder joint. It moves the hoist smoothly back and forth across the bridge girder. Add in the hook block to firmly hold the load, limit switches to prevent the machine from over-traveling its boundaries, and the festoon cable system supplying the electrical lifeblood, and wow, you've got a brilliantly engineered system.
Moving right along to Section 2, the 3 basic motions.
Now that we know the parts, let's look at how this massive machine moves in a 3D space. And this brilliantly illustrates how the movement breaks down into 3 specific steps along the X, Y, and Z axis. Step 1 is the hoisting motion. That's your up and down on the Z axis. The hoist motor rotates a drum, winding or unwinding the wire rope to lift or lower the hook. Step 2 is the cross-travel motion, your X-axis. This is where the trolley moves left and right, straight across that main bridge girder to position the load perfectly. Finally, Step 3 is the long travel motion, the Y-axis. This is when the entire massive bridge itself travels forward and backward along those elevated runway rails. When you combine these 3 motions, you get absolute full area coverage of the facility below.
But, how do you actually tame all that movement? Well, it's through precisely engineered control methods. Operators command this machine using either a pendant control hanging down from the crane, a dedicated cabin mounted way up high on the crane itself, or via a radio remote control. Think of it kind of like a really high-stakes video game controller. With just a few toggles and buttons, a single operator can safely and smoothly direct all those vertical, horizontal, and longitudinal movements, guiding thousands of pounds right over the heads of the workforce.
All right, on to Section 3, built-in safety devices.
Now, what's really interesting about this part is the invisible safety net that acts as a buffer against catastrophic failure. It's a redundant web of autonomous fail-safes built directly into the machine. Let's run through this rapid-fire safety checklist. You've got an overload limiter that absolutely refuses to lift a load that exceeds capacity. No way, not happening. An emergency stop button that kills all operation instantly. A heavy-duty brake system that kicks in to securely hold a suspended load mid-air if the power fails. Limit switches that physically stop the crane from driving off its tracks. Buffer stops to absorb accidental physical impacts, and blaring horns or sirens to warn personnel that a massive load is moving their way.
Next up is Section 4, the preventive maintenance playbook.
We really shouldn't look at this maintenance schedule as just a chore list. Instead, think of it as an essential, ongoing health checkup for our giant robot. The life cycle stretches from daily to weekly to monthly and right up to annually. Keeping this machine healthy is a non-stop commitment over time. Let's break down exactly what happens at these intervals.
It all starts with the daily checks. At the very beginning of every single shift, an operator or technician performs a thorough mechanical and electrical inspection. They're up there looking at the wire rope, checking the massive hook for hairline cracks, listening for any abnormal noises or vibrations, and hunting for oil leaks. They also test the pendant buttons, verify the limit switches, and test the brakes. Listen, catching a frayed wire rope or a failing brake early in the morning is quite literally the difference between a good day and an absolute disaster.
Let's move to and see how this builds into the weekly and monthly checks.
As the weeks pass, these inspections go much deeper into the mechanical and electrical systems. On a weekly basis, technicians are up there greasing bearings, gears, and wire ropes. They're inspecting the wear on the brake linings and tightening up any bolts that might have been rattled loose by vibration. Then, monthly, they check the runway rail alignment to ensure the crane is tracking straight. They inspect the grooved drum where the rope winds, verify the hook safety latch, and even measure electrical insulation resistance to prevent shorts.
And then comes the big one, the annual shutdown maintenance. This is serious business, folks. The whole facility halts production, and engineers perform massive structural overhauls. They do physical load testing to prove the crane's strength. But more importantly, they perform high-stakes NDT, which stands for non-destructive testing, on the hook and the structural weld joints. They'll use ultrasound or magnetic particles to look deep inside the metal. They need to ensure the very bones of the machine haven't developed invisible internal cracks from a solid year of heavy lifting. They also overhaul the motors, rebuild the brakes, and completely replace the gearbox oil.
Now, throughout all this maintenance, special attention is heavily focused on the wire rope. The wire rope is the true muscle of the operation. There are specific, rigid signs that dictate the rope must be immediately condemned and replaced. If an inspector sees visibly broken wires, if the overall diameter of the rope is stretched and thinned out beyond the safety limit, if there's severe corrosion or structural deformities like bird caging, where the strands actually unravel outward looking kind of like a bird cage, or any sharp kinks, well, that rope is done. No exceptions.
So, the crucial point here is understanding the direct link between a terrifying symptom and its catastrophic potential. Look at this comparison. On the left, a nightmare problem, load slipping. Imagine 10 tons of steel slowly lowering when it absolutely shouldn't be. The cause? Brake failure. On the right, the immediate mechanical remedy, adjust or replace the brake immediately. There is absolutely no wait and see in overhead crane maintenance.
Finally, we arrive at Section 5. Essential safety precautions.
These precautions are grounded in high-stakes reality. These are not just gentle suggestions. They are non-negotiable laws of survival for humans working around this machine. Before any maintenance happens, you absolutely must isolate the power and apply lockout/tagout, or LOTO. This ensures nobody can accidentally turn the machine on while a technician is literally inside the gears. You must use full personal protective equipment. And most importantly, you never, ever stand under a suspended load. You rigorously follow the safe working load limits, and you use standardized, proper communication hand signals so the operator and the floor team are always in perfect sync.
When we respect these machines, maintain them perfectly, and follow all the safety rules, the advantages are just staggering. They provide incredibly fast material handling, they drastically reduce the need for manual manpower, and ironically, they highly improve overall plant safety by taking the heaviest dangers out of human hands. Because of their massive lifting capacity, they are quite literally the vital organs of power plants, steel mills, cement plants, shipyards, and heavy engineering sectors all over the globe.
So, we've seen the anatomy, the incredible precision of movement, the rigorous maintenance, and the vital safety rules. But as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a thought. If our entire modern infrastructure relies so completely on the silent, suspended power of these overhead mechanical beasts today, how will next-generation technology like AI automation, predictive analytics, and advanced robotics change the way we look up tomorrow? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning and stay focused.